Hello, my Libras. Okay, I hope you'll bear with me because I have quite an extended psychic impression that the guides gave me as I was praying for your cards. You know me, Lynn Walden. Welcome to my channel, all of that stuff. The image that I got for you is this. So I have to say, it's a great reading, but bear with me because there's layers. The image that I have was you skating on a pond. A beautiful pond that's iced over, not a huge pond, with trees around the side, snow everywhere, and you're skating along on this ice, but you're looking back over your shoulder to see what shapes your blades have made. And then you're looking beyond the shapes your blades have made, and you're looking down into the ice to see if you can see something in the ice. And there's this sense with that, is that if you would stop looking to check out what the designs are that you're making in the ice, and if you would stop trying to decide what's underneath the ice before you move forward, you can go much farther, and that you will move beyond this pond, this small skating rink, this natural skating rink, and you'll move beyond that. And then I see you literally just jumping right off of that. You're no longer wearing skates, you're in snowshoes, and then you get to a hill, and then you're in skis. And what this says to me, Libra, is that you really are unstoppable, that you have what you need to move forward. And what I also want to stress here is that every single scene is a playful scene. Every single scene here is about you being free. It's skating, it's movement, it's being able to walk through snow easily, it's sliding down, skiing down a hill. Everything with horizons. Everything has got a horizon here. Even this pond, which is contained by these beautiful fir trees on either side, directly ahead, it's a horizon. So I pulled the cards. I have to point this out to you. I went back and I checked over the other readings that I've done, because I do keep track of what cards come up to make sure that things are flowing and that they're not getting stuck in one energy. 3 weeks I've been doing this for the YouTube audience. Every sign, you have had the betrayal card 3 times. One other sign has had it once. So this is obviously something that's very relevant for you. Now, one might think checking out and understanding the betrayal is the thing that you should be doing by looking back over your shoulder and into the ice. But that's the message, is that it's not that. The message is, yes, the understanding of betrayal is important and it's relevant, but it's not meant to be something that holds you back while you're doing it. Quite the contrary, it's the moving forward which allows you to understand it and be free of it. The cards that have come up are quite beautiful. What I have seen a lot with Libras is that there is a tendency for them to struggle with their sense of freedom. You can become very attached to things being a certain way and people being a certain way, because that's part of where you find your grounding, my beautiful, wonderful air sign. But the problem with that is that when they don't do it the way you think they should do it, whether it's in a personal relationship or in a work environment, when that comes on, because there is a fear component associated with change from what you're familiar with, or from how you think it should be done, there is a tendency for there to be a contraction around it, and sometimes a judgment and a criticism of it. Whether it's stated or not, it can be there, and it can really, I don't want to use the word poison because that's too strong, but it can create a kind of bad taste in your mouth in relation to this new situation or how this person is behaving. There is part of what goes on is because you struggle a lot. You have struggled a lot. If there's one sign I would like to lift up and say, please, please play, it would be you. Because there is so very often been that sense of struggle having become almost a way of life without you even realizing that it's a primary mode of operation. There's such an imperative, such an importance at doing it right. Always checking what marks your skates have made in the ice to see if they're all right. And sometimes to see if they're too deep and somebody else is going to trip over them. And the thing is, Libra, we know that you have a very intelligent mind. We also know that you can be extremely creative. We know that because you're very much an ether and air element, you have the capacity for intuition and for an understanding and an innate sense of the sacred in life. Whatever that means within your spiritual context. What you're being asked to do is to lean into that in order to give up the struggle. But in order to do that, you need to be able to create boundaries within yourself that say, no, I'm not going to struggle anymore. I don't need to struggle. The need to struggle is an illusion. And very often when you just walk away from the struggle of whatever a particular situation is, the situation resolves. You guys kind of come at it backwards, saying, which is really quite human, and many of us do it, is that I have to figure it out and then the struggle will be over. What you're being encouraged to do is to just simply say, I no longer wish to struggle. And now how am I going to do that? That's the key. It's choosing to give up the struggle around whatever the issue is. And then by doing what you need to do to stay out of struggle as much as you can and as consistently as you can, you will find resolve for a lot of the issues that have been plaguing you, that have been feeling as though you've been kept kind of a prisoner to certain attitudes and behaviors you didn't know how to find your way around. The thing is, when we change our way of thinking, we literally change our way of thinking. We literally change our neural patterns. We change the chemical responses our body has. We change the dynamic of our nervous system changes and our body chemistry changes. So it's not just putting on rose-colored glasses and pretending that things are different. It is saying, I am choosing for them to be different. I'm going to maintain a calm focus. I'm going to gather my mind's energy, and I'm going to use self-compassion and compassion for anybody else too, but really you need self-compassion first. We all do. Self-compassion. I'm going to be lighthearted. I'm going to laugh at myself instead of taking myself so bloody seriously all the time. And I'm going to set up my intention to look for wherever I'm falling back into those old beliefs about I'm always this, I'm never that. They are always this, they are never that. Look out for the cognitive distortions. You're being really asked here to remember that you are creating this new way of being. Lean into the divine, lean into the sacred. The aspects that hold you back, that hold us all back, are when we get stuck in beliefs that are based in just our personality. We need to lean into that higher conscious mind that we have. We need to lean into that compassionate heart and to the reality of, and for you it may just be a possibility of, but for me it's a reality of the fact that there is a divine presence that is with us all the time. And it's up to us to create our own boundaries within our own mind and with our own heart about where we're going to let our mind go and where we're not. I know this may seem long, but I want to add this piece. I think it's important. It takes time to build these things. And therefore, it can feel as though there is no progress. But it takes time to build new neural patterns and dissolve the old ones that are based in the fear, the negativity, the contraction. It takes time to build the new ones that are predominantly positive. And we are also changing our body chemistry. It really is. I love Paul Pearsall. If you ever get a chance to read any of his work, Superjoy is one of them. He was one of the first people who really started talking about positive neuroplasticity long before it was really a thing. And he really talks about it as we are learning to rewrite our own prescription. We are overcoming an addiction to the adrenaline and the chemicals that are associated with stress and struggle. And that we're learning to change that. We are literally weaning ourselves off that into the new way of being. And of course, concurrently, from a spiritual perspective, we're changing our energy field and we're changing what our brain does with our reticular activating system and what we will then see more of. So Libra, I really leave this with you because what I see for you really truly is you've got whatever is going on with betrayal. And I know I started with that card. Whatever is going on with betrayal, definitely it's a time for you to let it go. But what is also really important is understanding that you can choose to give up the struggle around what that means to you. You can choose to say, I'm not going to look at it from that energy anymore. I'm going to set myself free from struggle, and I'm going to lean into saying, you know what? Whatever. This is what I want now. This is what I want for my day. And how do I need to talk to myself to get that? How can I call on my spirituality, my higher conscious mind, my belief in the sacred, whatever that means, in order to do that? Because my loves, you have the power. You have the ability. It's all here. Okay. I'm going to put the names of the cards in the description instead of reading them all out to you, so that if you want to play with them and put them in your own composition, you can. If this is helpful, it would be really great. Thumbs up, subscription if you haven't already. And I just have to say, I just keep seeing you in the snow. And I see you leaning forward instead of looking back and moving to the edge of that ice and into the snowshoes and then onto the skis and just this beautiful vista ahead of you. Please listen back to this because there's a lot in here and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's all good. Okay? Boundaries within yourself, my loves. Boundaries within yourself. Okay? All right. That's it. I'll be back next week. Take care. Have a good week. Compassion for yourself, first and foremost, please. And a calm focus. None of that stuff. Calm focus. Okay? Take care.